Okay, welcome back to another edition of the Real Talk Real People podcast. This is Living Your Best Life with Karoline and AJ. Hi, AJ.
What's up, baby?
Well, it's been a long day, but that's okay because we're still here and we're going to live our best life. Today we have a guest. We have a guest.
Special guest.
A special guest. We don't have a bio for this special guest, but that's okay because she's going to be able to tell us all about herself. So we're going to give her an opportunity to do that tonight. Yay. Well, Al, why don't you officially introduce our special guest?
Well, it is our esteemed pleasure to have 2/6 of the band Flip the Skrip in the house. And that is just one small slice of what she does. She just celebrated a milestone birthday. I met her 15 years ago. She was 10. So she's celebrating her 25th birthday. How was that?
That was amazing. Thank you.
Got you covered. She did an incredible skating party where we had a blast, didn't we, honey?
Well, we did.
And I bust my ass,
She
too.
had to think about it.
Well, because I wasn't skating.
But you was there.
Yes, but I was there and
That's
I had
what I'm talking
and
about.
I had a fabulous time.
It was entertaining.
It was entertaining.
There we go.
I'm sorry that I missed him fall, but that we're gonna talk about that.
More importantly,
We're going to paint a picture.
she's working her way into old school. And by old school, what I mean is everybody today is microwave. They want that flash, instant, you take the hot water, you put the cocoa in it, you throw it in the microwave. Back in our day, you put it in the teapot, you cook that sucker, you had to stand there with your lip twisted out, wait for it. She's a throwback because she's a triple threat performer. She has the ability to act, she has the ability to dance, and she has the ability to sing. We call that a triple threat performer. We had the ability to see her, and I'm going to say it wrong, but it was a remake of Dangerous Liaisons, and it was called Les
Liaisons Dangereuses.
There you go. See, and you see how she said that? That it primes
It's
you.
the only thing in French she can say.
That primes you for who she is. And she is a mother. She's married to a high-maintenance brother like myself. We do not make our wives' jobs easy. And anybody that can manage us is doing a hell of a job. We even had the pleasure of bringing her daughter up in our last performance up on stage to sing with her. So this is what I'm trying to talk to you about when you talk about building that legacy. Ladies and gentlemen, for your listening pleasure, it is Miss Tasha Williams-Arroyo.
Thank you.
Clap it up.
Hey.
Clap it up.
Yay.
Clap it up.
Yay.
We are glad you're here tonight, actually.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm glad you finally decided to come join us.
I'm glad you finally invited me to come
Well,
join
look,
you.
I've been telling him, so I'm not going to put that on me.
But
Listen,
then,
I'm not the one with the busy schedule. Every day is Friday to me.
you're right.
So you the one that be like, oh, I got this, I got that, I got this, I got that.
Hey.
It's
But we're
like
making
trying to
it
catch a
happen
feather
right
in the
now,
wind.
though.
Because we're making it happen.
We're making it happen right now.
So how are you today?
I'm good.
What was today like?
What was today like for me?
Yes.
It was, well, I got to sleep in today because I was up yesterday very early and I had a full day doing Breaking Bad News.
Okay.
And then I came home and did the mother and the wife and the daughter thing. So I got to sleep in today. So I woke up and my husband called because his contact had blown out of his eye and he needed a new contact. So I drove to his job to take him a contact because he was riding blind.
High maintenance.
Exactly. You see, it starts early in the morning.
You said a mouthful.
Good girl. Good God. I mean, and then he invited me to stay at his job. So I stayed down and watched him do his job. We were together for about an hour and then I came home and I was chilling. And now I'm here.
And see, ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you that this is how you live your best life. See? One of these days I'm going to sleep in late too, but
Well, it doesn't happen often, but when I sleep in late, I do sleep in really late.
Yeah.
So like till
What we're going to
10:30.
do is kind of wind back. We don't want to start where we met her. I want you to get into that when we talk about how we met her. But I want to go back. Where did you grow up? Your siblings?
Absolutely.
And mom and dad. Give us a little bit of background.
Well, I am one of 3 with my mom, one of 5 with my dad. I'm my mom's oldest child and only daughter.
Okay.
And I am my dad's middle child, and I have an older brother, an older sister, and a younger sister and a younger brother who is now deceased.
Okay.
Um,
And you grew up?
I grew up in Newark.
Oh, from
Brick
the bricks.
City.
From the bricks.
Born and raised. Thank you. And single mom. My mom raised me and my brothers with the help of her village.
Yeah, yeah.
And my dad was peripheral for the most part. He didn't really become active in my life until I was an adult. But he was always there.
Okay.
You know, he and my mom ran in the same circles. He was very good friends with my mother's brothers. And so, you know, he was kind of always there. But primarily my mom and my aunts raised me and my brothers.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds like an average story.
Nothing new there.
What about academic and education?
I was a part of the Newark public school system until high school, and then I got a fantastic opportunity to go to a boarding school. So I ended up at Blair Academy in Blairstown, New Jersey.
Snobs. Look at you. Oh, bougie.
I mean, not anymore.
You probably had them chicks up there terror. Oh, she from Newark. Oh, my God.
Only because, you know, exactly. But they didn't know that I was a Love Not fighter.
Okay.
And I didn't tell them. So it kind of worked out for me.
Good for you. Well, I'm going to let you finish your bio, and then we're going to talk about Blair Academy a little bit. Okay,
sure.
But go ahead and finish your
And
bio.
then I left, graduated from Blair and did my freshman year of college at Providence College in Rhode Island. Go Friars. And, and then I transferred. I changed my major and transferred to Fordham University College at Lincoln Center.
Oh, okay.
And what did you study?
I was at yes, when I was at Fordham, I was a theater major. When I was at Providence, I was a psych major for maybe a month. And then I was like, no.
Enough.
Because my professor was just obsessively boring. He was just really boring, and I couldn't sit through it. So I went undeclared the end of my freshman year until I decided to become a theater major, which wasn't why I transferred. I transferred because I wanted to study communications.
Okay.
But when I went to Fordham for their tour, I walked into their theater and just kind of fell in love with the space and was like, maybe not. And then
So this theater thing wasn't something innate in you growing up?
Oh, no. I was definitely a performer growing up.
Okay, just checking.
Since the earliest I can remember performing, I was 2 years old. And my cousin used to teach me routines and would make me do stuff for her friends.
Okay.
And she taught me the routine from Sparkle.
Oh, yeah.
What can I do?
Oh, okay.
Right?
All right.
At 2.
All right.
That is my earliest memory
right.
of performing. And then through elementary school and middle school, I would be the go-to person if you needed someone to do a dance or if you needed someone to MC something when they would let the students do it. Listen, my cousins will tell you how I tortured them when we were children because I would choreograph things and teach it to them in our bathroom.
Yeah,
because our mothers were always like, do that dance you did the other day.
Love it.
You know, so I always tortured them with it. And then when I got to high school, my school was primarily academic. I mean, it's better now. They have better arts now. But when I was in school, it was really for the academics. So I auditioned for the musical my freshman year and did not make it. And I was like, well, I must not be good enough. And then I never auditioned again until my senior year. And I did it because we had to have, you had to do something after classes. And when you're a senior, you don't have to play sports.
Yes.
But freshman through junior, you have to get 2 letters. So I was like, oh, well, what can I do where I don't have to run around the field for 45 minutes?
You know, that's right.
So I auditioned for Our Town and got a really small part and loved it. So when they announced that the musical was going to be Grease, I was not going to audition. My roommate was actually the actress. And I went to watch her audition, and my best friend was the stage manager. So I went to the callbacks and sat with her and clowned everybody else who was auditioning.
Love it.
And the technical director was sitting, unbeknownst to me, was sitting behind me. So when people would go up to do the part of Rizzo, I was like, they just weren't giving it the oomph that Rizzo needed.
Okay.
And I always had something to say, and he leaned up between the two of us, scared the bejesus out of me, and said, if you think you can do better, then go do better.
Oh, wow.
And I did.
Okay.
And I got cast.
Okay.
From the callback.
Okay,
And while I was there, the director asked me to choreograph it, so I choreographed it. And that was really when I fell in love again with theater. But, you know, people tell you there's no money in that. So,
there's no money in anything
that we love to do that's creative, right?
That's the reason why we over here broke now.
That part, okay?
I speak for y'all broke self. Your boy sitting on some bricks.
We ain't talking to you, Al Jones Sr. Okay.
Well, I stay broke, so.
I'm right there with you, girl.
So when I was looking into going to college, I was looking into something practical.
Yeah.
And it was either going to be psychology or law because I love to debate.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm also a really good listener. And so that was my major entering into college. But then when I got there, I just realized that wasn't my passion.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's not my passion. And so when I transferred and went to Fordham, I was like, I'm going to give this acting thing a try. And my mother, God bless her, was like, you're the best thing ever. You're the next Meryl. You can do it.
Mama Shirley.
And she's still very supportive.
Yes,
of you.
she is.
Yes,
She is the co-chairwoman of my number one fan club.
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that's when you fell in love with theater, because I was going to ask you when you fell in love with theater. So I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah, it was really just doing it in high school.
Yeah.
And then once I decided to transfer and go into Fordham, that was where I found my people.
Yeah.
You know how there
tribe.
are, there are people out there like you who will break into random song walking down a New York street because the light turned green and it reminded them of a musical.
Absolutely.
Those were my people.
I'm going to ask you, what was your favorite musical?
Oh my God, I have no idea how to answer that.
I can answer.
Well, I was
West
going to
Side
ask
Story
you.
is
Right.
mine.
I know West Side Story.
Right.
And West Side Story is the first musical I ever saw.
West Side
Okay.
Story is just
I
the
knew
songs.
I knew what his was. I was
Yeah.
going to ask him just for the record, but I knew what his was.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to ask you, because my favorite musical, believe it or not, was The King and I.
Really?
Yes.
She still talk about that.
Really?
To this day, like you, I auditioned to be Anna, right? And I really think that I should have gotten that part.
Well, your name is Karoline. You had too many letters down the alphabet. They wasn't checking for you.
But you know what? It was so funny. Like you, every single time they would go up to audition, I'd be in the seats watching and saying, "Oh, I could do that better." And
I'm
I'd be
so
like,
much better.
You know, I'm so much better than them.
Yes.
But you know, I did get in the show, but
Not the main.
But you weren't.
I was
Anna.
one of them little dancing kids.
You were an ensemble.
I was one of the king's
Which,
kids.
by the way, the ensemble is to me the best part about doing a musical.
Really?
I enjoy
I
doing
don't
the
know.
ensemble.
I like the light closer to the front.
No, well, you know, listen, it all depends on what I'm doing, right? When I first auditioned for Sister Act back in 2017, up to that point, I would have done any role you gave me.
Yeah.
But
Yes,
I said,
which is what you should
Yeah.
do. Yes.
Yeah.
but
Yes.
that was
Yeah.
probably the first time I'd ever said, if I don't get Dolores, I cannot do this musical because I cannot sit back and watch someone else
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
play
Because you
something.
feel that
That was
part.
the only reason I would not have accepted
okay.
ensemble had he offered it.
Okay.
However, I happened to get Dolores.
Yeah.
Thankful for me, right?
Yeah. And we saw it, and it was absolutely fabulous.
She killed it.
Thank
Yes.
you. Well, I'm
Yes.
back in the habit because I'm doing Sister Act again this summer.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
we will
So,
be there.
please come.
Depending on where we got so much stuff going on in the
Absolutely.
summer, so hopefully
Yeah.
we'll
And
be
why?
able
Well,
to.
I
get
hope
your
you
show-
can work it in.
Why?
Why?
Because we are
Living our best life.
Well, cheers to that. I'll drink something.
Wait a minute. Let's clink that.
We're gonna clink
What'd
the-
you say?
Cheers. Eye contact.
There you go.
Never.
And I think I said this on the last podcast we was on. And I said, if you're going to toast with someone, my vocalist said,
You got to have eye
if you
contact.
clinking glasses, you got to have eye contact. And we want to take a minute to do our little commercial here because we had set this up. We had a nice bottle of white Black Girl Magic that we're going to break out. And the trooper that she is, old school soul, I keep telling you about this triple threat thing. She come through the door with her own bottle of red wine. And that is what we sipping on now. So if this
Exactly.
podcast slide off the rails, it's her fault.
It's
My
not
bad.
going to slide off the. Well,
Caroline
this
is going to
relaxing-
keep it all in check.
Oh, yes, she will.
and I will,
Act like you know.
and I will.
So I would like to now bring you into that conversation, honey, because I
Right.
wanted to go back in time to find out how she got on that path. Because when we met her, it was purely through a theater mindset.
Yes.
So let's set the stage so people can understand how that happened and this connection was made 15 years ago.
I can't believe it was 15
It
years.
was
That's what I'm
15
trying to tell
years
you.
ago.
Oh my
15
God.
years ago. She was 10. It was amazing.
All right. So for all of you who do not know, and many of you do know, I have so many hats that I wear, but I'm a playwright as well. And I was casting for my first play, Women on the Edge, and I was casting for it, and Tasha auditioned for it, and we
The very
thought,
last one.
Yeah.
Remember, you and Kiana, you were closing up shop.
yeah,
Yeah.
but we thought that you were the perfect. You were gonna play. I'm trying to remember because you were gonna do Happiness Train.
I did Happiness
the
Train.
Happiness Train,
Yes.
right? Joanne, I think her name was.
Yes, I believe it was.
Right. So that's how we met you. And what me and Kiana would do is that we would, because we knew that we were casting individuals who were not yet seasoned, not saying that you were, but all the rest of them were not yet seasoned. So what we were doing is that we would have an opportunity to sit and talk with them to give them an idea of what we were looking for,
Right.
so that they would be able to move smoothly in the role. So I remember when we asked you to come over to talk to us about
To do some table work.
to do some table work, and we wanted you to be in character. I remember because you were Joanne.
Yep.
And Joanne was crazy a little bit.
I mean, you know, listen.
Perfect part, huh?
Hey.
Yes, she was a character who was a little bit crazy. So Kiana and I wanted to make sure that you could play crazy.
All my life.
But what I loved about you is that you were also able to do a dual part because you also played Yvette.
Yes, I
Right,
did.
which was, I think, your favorite character.
That was my favorite
Yes.
character. See, she was the one
Yes.
who was probably the least like me, but she was fun.
Yes.
She was the fun friend. She was the loud friend.
Yeah.
I enjoyed her.
She was the fun, loud friend.
Yes.
And you and Kiana hit it off so well because Kiana played the other person.
Yes, she played the, oh God, what was it, Kim? No.
Kim, yes.
Was it Kim?
Kimberly.
Kimberly
She
was
played
her
Kimberly
name.
and you
Yes.
played Yvette. And the two of you together were just absolutely hilarious. I remember when we
played off
recorded
each
it,
other really well.
It was so great.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that's how we met Tasha. And from there, it's history because what happened was we did a stage reading.
Yes, on Juneteenth
Yes.
of that year,
Brookdale-
2009.
Brookdale Community
At
College.
Brookdale
I remember that.
College.
Yep.
We didn't get a chance because I was still working on it, trying to get it to be
Get it up and
staged.
running, yeah.
But we did a reading. And it was very successful because I was very hard on y'all.
Yeah, she was like, it's called a reading, but y'all will be memorized.
Exactly.
Off
Exactly.
book.
I do remember I was now that I'm thinking about it, I was very hard on y'all. Because
Well,
it
this was your baby.
it was my baby.
And it was your first.
And it was my first.
Yeah.
And I have like you said, creative people are weird.
Yeah, we are. We're in a class.
Yes.
We march to the beat of our own drums.
1000%.
Exactly. So we're not like everybody else.
Right.
So I had this vision of what I wanted, even the reading, to look like. And I wanted to make sure we were on point with that. And then remember our director, he was supposed to be the director. He kept telling me, this is not how you do a stage
Right.
reading. And I
Yes.
kept saying, I don't care.
And you were like, but this is how we're gonna do it.
How we're
though.
gonna do it.
Like, didn't he and Kiana clash at
Him
some
and Kiana
point?
clashed.
Yeah.
And that's when he got fired.
Yes, I remember that.
He got fired because he clashed with Kiana because Kiana saw my vision and she was trying to make my vision happen and he was trying to stall her.
Right.
Right. But anyway, that's how I met. And then I'm gonna tell you how you met Al because when Al went to that stage reading
I remember
did.
that. Yeah.
and he heard you sing the song, and it was funny because you wasn't supposed to
Yes.
sing the song, but
That's what
we
caught
needed
me.
you. It was like, Tasha, can you please sing this song?
Yes. So there were two songs.
Yes.
There was Heavenly Love,
Heavenly Love,
Yes.
which I
remember.
still hum every now and
Yes,
again.
I love that one.
It
And the
was such
key.
a beautiful, and the key
And
was the
key.
other one.
Yes.
I could not remember what the title was.
Yes.
Yes, it was the key. Yes.
And you sang them both so beautifully.
Thank you.
That you had Al mesmerized.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I
Yes.
came. I wasn't involved with any of the play.
Yes.
And when she said she was going to do this stage reading, I said, well, if you can see in here now, I got cameras set
Yeah,
up. I
yeah.
got the audio set up.
Yeah.
So I came to take some video and take some pictures. And I think it might have been AJ leaned in and said to me, oh, she wasn't even supposed to sing the song. And you got up and sang the song. And so I was impressed because he was like, she's like, it's not like she's really been doing the song. And I was like, for somebody to step out of character and do this song,
Right.
in front of these random strangers, I said, that's pretty cool. So I was like, that kind of like stuck with me.
Yeah.
And at that point, that was our connection.
Yeah,
that was it.
That
I
was
was
gonna
out
be
the
it.
door.
Exactly.
And
And
I was gone.
Exactly. And it's still in there because I had a cast party.
Yes.
Yes.
Because
This is where the magic happens.
Yeah, this
people.
is where the this
This
where
is
the
really
magic-
where
This is where the magic happens.
is
the
where the-
abracadabra comes in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I take care of my peoples. I had a cast party, even though we did not. It wasn't performed on a stage yet. It was still considered a reading.
Yes, it's still a
But
performance.
It was still a performance,
Yeah.
and I was so proud of all of you that I had a cast party. So I've invited everybody over to the house for the cast party.
Right.
And then, of course, AJ, because he is a musician and he had a studio downstairs, he talked about that because,
Right.
you know, we talk about what we do. And so I remember you saying something about wanting to sing in a band.
Maybe. I don't remember.
Yeah.
It's possible.
And
It's
that's
very possible.
right. And then Al's like, well, let's go downstairs, right?
Well, you know what? No, you know what it was?
We went down. Me,
Yeah.
Jay, and Junior went
Yes.
downstairs.
Okay.
He had mentioned that they were in a band.
In a band,
And I turned,
yes.
because I didn't know Jay played an instrument.
Because
wait
he
a
was in the
minute,
band. We
Leslie,
forgot
back
to
up.
mention that Jay
That's
was
right.
in, Jay was in the
Jay
play.
was also in the
Yes, he was
play.
in the
Three
play, yeah.
sixths of the flippers, but at that time it was 75% of the flippers
Right.
was in the
we
play.
were all involved except you.
Except
you.
for me.
Yes, you
That's
were
why I
the only
said
one.
I met you. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, good. She can sing it. I walked out.
Yeah. So I didn't know that excuse me, I didn't know that Jay played. I knew obviously I knew that AJ played because he was the musical director for Women on the Edge.
Yes.
So I was like, well, but where do y'all play in this band?
Yeah.
And AJ was like, oh, we rehearse right downstairs. And I was like, well, make that happen.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was really all I needed to say.
I know, right?
And then off they went. And he was like, well, give us a couple of minutes to kind of warm up a little bit, but then you guys can come down. And then
Yeah.
we came
And
down.
then we
I
came
stood
down.
right
Yeah.
here.
Right outside the door. If you could see, the folks on camera will see.
Right.
But
It
for
was
you on
right
radio land,
here.
the door is to her stage left.
Yes.
Thank you. And they were playing The Way, and I started humming it while I'm like, I know that song. What is that song? So I
Yeah.
started humming it. And when I was leaving, I was like, well, hey, listen, if y'all are ever looking for a single,
And he was.
hit me up.
And they were.
Were they? Because
Yeah.
it
Yes.
was crickets for like a month and a half.
Well, so let's be clear. So we
No,
had
they
got,
really were.
We had got
Oh, I
burned.
didn't know. Oh, they had a singer. You had
Because
the
we
guy.
did. Lamar was gonna be our singer.
Right, they had
Right.
someone coming
They
in.
did have someone.
And he burned us, and
Yeah.
rightfully so, because he wasn't feeling the whole entire vibe, and he had to go off and do bigger and better things, because he's now Grammy nominated, working on his own stuff. Congrats to the young man. And but Junior had a show that was coming up, and we were going to be the house band for the show. And when you arrived, all of a sudden, that show was literally like 2 weeks out. It was coming.
Right.
And so I think we asked you, what do you know? And you started rattling off this stuff. We were like, we don't know that. This is what we know. Learn this.
Which is really where he should have started.
That's where he should have started.
exactly.
He was trying to be
of
diplomatic.
these songs, what do you know? And I'd be
So-
like, this one, that one, that one.
Folks, this is the part of the story that I love the most about our connection. So we go to this place. It was called the Coffee Cave. And we proceed to get up there. We were great behind the rappers. Then when we went up solo, not with Tasha, but just as the band as instrumental, all the songs that we worked on, we started bombing. We sounded horrific. And I kept telling Junior and Jay, y'all better tighten this up, because if y'all tighten it up, I'm not bringing her up.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to subject her to this. Now, her mom is there. We
Yeah.
had Al and Val were there, who I told to
Right.
come out because we wanted
Yeah.
to play at their spot. They had a
Right.
nice spot called Cafe
Cafe
170.
170, yeah.
So and we really had nothing. This is our first time playing as a unit.
Yeah.
And Tasha said she had never fronted a band.
I had never, ever. I'd always wanted to. I did say
Yeah.
that, but I
Okay.
never had gotten a chance.
So we finally bring her up after we were in that heat for like 5-6 hours.
It was hot.
And
They were angry, they were hot,
and
they
I
were
told the
hungry,
crowd,
and they were hungry.
I said, listen, we're going to bring this young lady up, and we don't know her, and she don't really know us. So we need a singer, and you're going to help us determine if she going to be our singer. I said, you remember the old Roman gladiator days? I said, when it came time for the kill, if you like her, you give her a thumbs up. If you don't like her, you give her a thumbs down. She turned around and gave me a look.
I sure did.
You shot me a
because
look.
what in the world was
I
that?
know, right?
We didn't talk about that.
That was before you really got to know what kind of
Yes.
Yes.
I didn't know the character I was dealing
Yes.
with.
Now his shenanigans go just
Right over my
over
head.
your head.
Mom
Right.
Dukes was out there,
Head flipper.
and
Yeah.
we kicked in, and I don't know what song we did first.
Just fine.
Okay, we did do Just Fine?
Yes.
Okay, but I will tell you this. It was Tyrone.
Yeah.
When we hit Tyrone, she put her foot
Literally.
all up in this jam.
Literally.
Yeah.
And I knew, because as the drummer, you're always in the back. And I could look past and see the audience. And I'm watching the audience, and all the women in the audience went berserk. They were singing with you, and you could just see it. I looked over at Jay. That's his groove. I looked at Jay. Jay don't like to look at me because he like if he look up, it means I made a mistake. So he looked up, and I was like, yes. I nodded.
Right.
I turned and looked. Junior was already looking at me, and he was smiling. And I was like, all right. And when I asked the crowd when we finished our set, what do you think? 15 years later, we're still together.
That
what you
part.
think?
Yeah.
And so when we met,
Yeah.
it was just the four of us.
It was.
And we had limited repertoire.
Well, it was so the Coffee Cave was supposed to be a one-off.
Yes.
And then you came back and said, hey, we
The
were
block
invited
party.
to do this block party.
Yes.
Are you available? And I was like, okay, yeah, that'd be great. We did that.
Yep.
And that was supposed to be it. But
Then
but when we watched the video, that's when he was like,
I think we got
have
something.
something.
I think we got something.
I think we have something.
Yep. I think we did the Coffee Cave after that.
No, we did Cafe 170.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Cafe
because
170.
you started with the coffee
Yes.
cake.
Yes, that's how we
Yes.
Yes,
started.
we did
Yeah.
Cafe 170. And to me, like the Coffee Cave was just a bunch of random people. They really came to see rappers. They didn't come to see us.
Right.
The block party was just people with their grills out and everything. We was just background distraction.
Right.
Cafe 170, people was in the seats. They had to pay like $10 to get into the place. And so we had a captured audience.
They came for us.
And
Right.
so when I
They were
looked
there
at that
for us.
audience and saw how they were vibing, when I came back after that, I said, I think we got something.
Yeah.
So we were a four-piece for literally,
Mm-hmm.
from 2009 to like 2014.
Yep. So what's that, 5 years? 5 years.
And then Regine arrived
Regine and Heather.
and Heather together.
Yes.
But
They were a duo.
Before we get to Regine and Heather, because there's no magic here, so it took some tweaking for in that 5 years.
Oh, you're going to put me back on blast again. I
Well,
feel you. I
no-
know where you're going. Go ahead, Tasha. You can tell them how hard I was on y'all. You can tell somebody in the band got to be the prick. And it's usually the drummer because he got the most shit to
All
throw.
I'm saying is that we want to give a truthful representation.
Yes,
because
let's
let
do
me
that.
tell you,
I
because
was like, no, because you've seen the whole journey.
that's what I'm saying.
Yes, I got you.
15 years is a long time to be a part of a band,
Yeah.
and you know that. But 15 years, and you guys are great. But 15 years, it just
It's
like
growth.
just like a marriage,
Right.
Right. There are some
Some
Bumps in the
things.
road.
some things
Yeah.
and some tweaking that has
Right.
to happen.
Yes.
Right.
Because I am pretty sure that there were some days when you were saying, "Okay, I'm done with these guys because no." I'm sure. No. Okay.
No, I will say this.
Okay, audience,
No.
you cannot see the face.
Oh, yes, you can because she on film camera here. But I will say this. Yes, 1,000%. I am the heavy in the band. And it's okay because, like I said, I love bands that have a healthy tension. There's healthy tension, then there's unhealthy tension.
Right.
And I think, fortunately, we may have gotten right up to that line, but we never crossed that line where it became truly unhealthy.
Right.
Except that night I got sabotaged, but I ain't going to say nothing about that because she may watch this, Heather.
But we
Hey,
didn't.
this is real talk for real people.
But I'm going to need for you to tell that story because I don't know what story you're talking about.
Oh, okay, but we didn't get to Heather yet because
Right.
we're still
Yeah,
working.
we're still here.
We're
We're
still
still
in
with
the
the
five.
quartet.
So what I'm
Still the
saying
quartet.
is,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I am the seasoned one in the group. I had played in multiple bands, and my whole thing was I wanted to have my own band because I've been in bands where I was not happy with either the leadership, the direction, the chemistry of the band. And so I was working to try to find my own space, if you will. And having a son that is everything I am, but next level, I said, I need to get a situation where we can be together. We're both drummers, we're both keyboardists, and I'm like, everything I do, he does better than me. And I said, listen, we in the band, you got to play keys, I got to play drums. And he said, cool, Dad, no problem. And thankfully he did, because that's what's been the secret sauce to keep everything together. And when we met Jay was that laid back, as most bass players are, they're laid back. They're either super aggressive and they're on top of everything, or they're super laid back. He was of the latter. And our personalities just meshed like incredibly.
Right.
And now you're talking about all that testosterone, okay? And when we had DeMar come in, I kind of looked around and I was like, something ain't right, and he wasn't really feeling the vibe. So when he walked out, the next thing on my mind was, we need a girl in the band. That was my immediate thought. But again, we weren't in circles where we were looking for that. And when you walked in the door and it happened, that's how it happened.
Yeah.
So now you walked in, and as a quartet, it took us a minute to find our stride. What we really found out is we kind of have like a neo-soul kind of, we are neo-soul, R&B kind of pop kind of thing is what's our pocket, is where we sit. Once we figured that out, then we started tailoring things to make that happen. And the best part of that was when you spoke about the slack ground vocalist. Okay? You want to elaborate on the slack ground vocalist? Because this is Karoline talking about some of these transitions.
Exactly.
Well, you know, everyone had their part to play in the band, and my part was vocals, and you were the drums, and so forth and so on. So when it came to doing songs that required background, oftentimes I would try to do both.
Yes.
You did.
And
You
Junior
didn't often try. You did.
And Junior would see me struggle, and he'd be like, "I'm gonna tell you right now,
Yeah.
if it comes to singing or playing, yo." Like he, you know, that disclaimer was put forth very early on.
Yep.
So, you know, like there were times I was like, I want to do this song, but I'm gonna need help, guys. So, you know, he would come in, he and Junior would come in, but it was really one of those things where I was like, nah, this ain't gonna make it. Like it had just gotten to a point where I was like, there was so much music I wanted to do that I knew we would be amazing at doing if I had help.
If you had
vocally.
help, yeah, that makes sense.
And once I got back into the theater, because even after doing Women on the Edge in 2009, I didn't perform again theatrically until I got back into theater in 2013. So that's been a blessing because that's how I came across Regine.
Yeah.
And then eventually Heather through another mutual friend. Right. But, you know, there were mountains that we had to climb to get to where we were. Like, I wanted to do So in Love. When Jill Scott and Anthony Hamilton dropped that, I wanted to do that song so badly. But I'm like, well, Jay can't play bass and sing.
And the thing is Jay can sing.
He can sing his butt off.
Yes.
Just don't ask him to do it while he's playing a good instrument.
Exactly.
He can't do that, right? And I knew he was going to be like, I don't know.
I'll jump in here and there, but I wasn't trying to leave.
But
the
I'm
whole
not
joint.
trying to be a singer. So, you know, JR, bless his heart, he was like, what you got, Miss Shay? I got you, Miss Shay.
Yeah,
I got you.
because
What
I
you
was going
got?
to say, AJ jumped in a few times.
He jumped in a few
'cause
times.
y'all
He
got a
was either
couple of
rapping
things,
with
yes.
me on something, or, you know, he was like, I'll take it. What are the words again?
Yeah.
That's like, for him, that is his challenge. I got to remember words.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you got to remember the words. But, you know, I love doing that song. But it wasn't until I got into theater and was exposed to other vocalists that I was like, you know,
the wheels were turning.
The wheels were turning. The little mouse was like, what can I chew on?
Yes.
And we were at Carrie. So do you want me to introduce how Heather and Regine came
Yeah,
out?
absolutely.
So I had done the Full Monty. That was the first show I did, getting back into like full on production theater. And Regine and I did it together. Initially, I met her at the callback. And like you do anywhere where it's you and other people up for the same thing, I sized up the room and saw Regine, and I was like, that's going to be my competition for this role. But regardless, when we got into the process of acting, she was very standoffish at first. And then one day she walked in wearing a Hill School sweatshirt. And I know the Hill School because they're one of the boarding schools we used to play in athletics.
Okay.
Bougie.
So, I mean,
Is that where she went?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
10 years after I went to Blair.
Okay.
And when she walked in, I looked up, and this is maybe our third or fourth rehearsal together. And I said, you went to the Hill School? And she said, yeah.
That's exactly how she talked.
She does.
Yeah.
And I said, Blair Academy. And she was like, what? Oh my God. When did you graduate? What was you know, so that from that moment on, she's been my little sister.
Yes, she has.
A year later, we were at karaoke, and our mutual girlfriend had said, you ever thought about adding other voices to Flip the Script? And I said, girl, all the time. And she was like, you should talk to Regine about doing something. And at the time, Regine had not long moved back to New Jersey from Easton, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And she was looking to do things outside of home. So theater was one of the things that she had taken up. And I said to her, I'm looking into doing some stuff, whatever, with my band. And would you be interested in coming to sing with us? And she was like, well, what does that all mean? And we had just booked it was our very first tennis gig the Harlem
Oh.
Tennis
Oh,
Junior
that was her
Junior
first
Tennis.
gig?
That was our first gig.
Oh,
That was
I
our
didn't-
first time doing that with them, and I
Okay.
really wanted to show up
Okay.
there
Yeah.
because that was by far the biggest gig
Yeah.
Flip Skrip has had
That's
Yeah,
a classy.
yeah.
in
gig.
a room
Yeah.
Yes.
with like real movers and shakers, and I
Yeah.
wanted us
Yeah.
to put forth a really good show. And I knew bringing extra voices in would do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like he says, like, you know, we're the creatives, like we're the ones that kind of see the vision.
Yeah.
And
We
I
just
thought that
dragged
would
them over the
be,
finish line with us.
and they, but the great thing is they don't kick and scream about it.
They don't resist.
You
no.
know, they
Yeah.
jump in and they're
In a
so
tug of war, me and Tasha will kill the four of them.
that part. We'll take them on
Yeah.
because we're here for it.
But everybody has a role to play.
But everyone has a role to play. And Regine's thing was, may I have questions?
Absolutely.
Regine's thing was very early on. I have no interest in being in out front.
out front, yes.
And that was great for me
Yes.
because that
Right.
meant, aside from mixing business with pleasure, so to speak, right? Because we have a personal relationship,
Yeah.
but the band, although it's very personal and we're all friends at the end of the day, you don't want to
Yeah.
ever have to, you know, rock the boat. So it was great for me because then that made me feel like, A, she's not going to be vying for my spot
Yeah.
because I don't want to have to cut nobody.
From the bricks.
Okay? I'm just saying.
I'm a drink to that.
That part. Cheers. Eye contact, eye contact. But two, she'll be comfortable living in her wheelhouse, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we just got in the gig. I explained to her what it was, and she
Yeah.
was like, okay, great. The same mutual friend said, my girlfriend, Heather, who was also at that karaoke, she also sings, you should talk to her. And I was like, I will. Oh, I'm skipping a part. Prior to that, Anik and I ran into each other at a show. And she had mentioned that she wanted
That she
to get
wanted-
more involved in
yeah.
the band. So at the time, initially, it was going to be Anik. She signed on first.
Yeah.
And then Regine.
Yes.
Okay.
But Anik had to pull out very last minute. So that was when my girlfriend Heidi said, remember Heather from, as a matter of fact, it was my birthday dinner. We were talking about it. And she said, remember my girlfriend Heather from karaoke? And I was like, oh, yeah. She goes, you should ask her. And I was like, I don't know that woman. Like, we had only done karaoke together. And
Yeah.
it was very,
Yeah.
you know, surface. And she was like, I'm going to text her. And she texted her
Yeah.
for my birthday dinner. And Heather, I don't even think 2 minutes passed
Yeah.
before Heather jumped in. We came to my house and we rehearsed a couple of songs. And then we went to her beautiful home and rehearsed a couple of songs.
bomb.
And we all went in to do that gig together. And it was just amazing.
Yeah.
It was. I forgot about it that way.
And I was just like, you know what? That's it. You're a part of the band. Nope. I don't want to hear it. Stop it.
But
You are now
that's-
off the band.
That's great, though, and that's a great story because that's really how it works.
And let's just
You
bring
know.
Anik in so you can
Yeah.
complete the thought. So we can get Anik in.
yeah, so we can get Anik in there. So Heather was in the band from 2014 to 2016.
She went out with a bang.
She did. She did. It was a fantastic gig.
He's itching to tell that
no,
story.
I'm talking about the night at Bunny's.
Yes, the night at Bunny's.
She went out with a bang.
But I also do want to hear the story about how she played you. I need to hear that story.
You were there.
I don't remember it though.
What?
How do you not remember it?
Okay, wait. Well, refresh my memory.
Christmas.
We were all there.
Oh, Christmas.
We were all there.
We were all there.
Yeah.
Okay, I do remember that.
Yeah.
I got a book over in the back room there.
I do remember
I'm
that.
getting ready to read this book. And the title of the book is Black AF.
Oh Lord.
And it took
Jesus.
everything in me not to go BMF
Balls to the wall.
in that space.
Okay, I do remember that.
Okay. That's all we need to say.
Thank you. I was there. I remember.
I was going to say you were there.
I absolutely was there. As a matter of fact, I think I took a picture of it. Anyway,
She make a hell of a hot toddy though.
she's super generous though. Like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, she, you know, that incident aside,
We,
You know,
we
I-
closed the we
yeah.
we
I think
closed
that
it at
came
that
out of
house and walked
frustration.
out.
That
Yes.
came out of frustration.
it did.
Yeah.
It did. But the good
Yeah.
thing was it started there and it ended there.
It
Yeah, man.
ended
And it
'cause
was
listen,
amazing.
I,
Yeah.
I know how to. Mama gave me some home training.
Yeah. But also we're family, right?
Yeah,
So-
we're family.
Right. At the end
Yeah.
of the day,
And everybody has a right to express
How they
themselves
feel.
and how they
Absolutely.
feel, because everybody's feelings is valid.
Right.
So
But
it
what do
was
I always
okay.
tell you?
yes. But so getting back to her husband got a great job opportunity. They wound up moving. And
CEO.
and it was just the five of us for a while.
Yep. Look at that picture.
Where is it? Yep.
Bam.
And then Lonnie came in No, Lonnie came in before that, right? Lonnie
yes.
came in with Heather.
He came in with Heather.
Yes, okay. But then once Heather and Lonnie stepped aside, then it was just the 5 of us for a while.
Yeah.
And again,
Yeah.
Anika and I happened to be at a show.
Yeah.
We happened to be at the same show. And afterwards, we went out for drinks. And she kind of threw it out there again. And then one night out at karaoke, she met us at karaoke and we talked about it. This was on a Friday. And I said to her, well, if you're still interested, rehearsals are on Tuesdays. If you want to show up this Tuesday, and I gave her the address. Yeah. And I
she
really
showed up.
and she showed
was
up.
first.
Yeah.
She was the first one here.
Yeah, and she showed up.
She
And
did.
and she's been showing
And
up.
it's been
Yeah.
the 6 of us
Yeah.
ever since. Yes.
Yeah.
That's how we came to be the Flip the Script that people out there know us as today.
It's really great for me because I watched Flip the Script grow from infancy to where you are right now. The last show you guys did, I honestly had to I told you all that was really, I have to say, one of the best shows I've seen. It was just it was literally flawless.
Yeah.
Because we
Yeah.
treated it like
Yeah.
theater in that space.
Yeah.
We may never get an opportunity to do something like that, but in that space, that was the vision for that show. The sound was pristine.
Oh my God, the sound was
The
amazing.
choices we made were on point,
Yeah.
and everybody delivered at their, you couldn't have, for all of us to be on at the same time in the same space was amazing.
And obviously it was a fantastic show, but that's not why that was my favorite show. That was my favorite show
'Cause of Miss Aaliyah.
because Miss Aaliyah.
Yes.
All right, so hold it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pivot. So you got to explain to the audience because they don't understand. Because we always like to say that, Tasha has a beautiful daughter. We love Miss Aaliyah. She is just this one, and she is like super fly. I don't know what Alex do because thank God he can shoot really well because she is just too cute for herself. And we used to tease Tasha all the time because a couple of times Aaliyah came in here and just kind of sang a little bit. But we used to tease Tasha all the time and say that, we'd be at rehearsal and be like, why don't you go out to the car and get Aaliyah,
Get Aaliyah out the trunk.
So we always teased her saying that she was basically Lady Shay in training. We always told Tasha if her britches got too big for her, we was going to kick her to the curb and we was going to pull Aaliyah into the bed.
Yeah.
So on this night of our last show, February 28th, SOPAC at the Lofts, it was Flip the Script and friends. We had a few friends slated to come. One missed out. Kyle, bro, you missed a great show, bro. But we had Little James came out on sax.
Yeah.
And Tasha's daughter, Aaliyah. And let me back this up a little bit. So I'm sitting at one of our spots called the Gaslight, a little local brewery in South Orange. And I'm there with her husband. And I said, yo, my man, I said, you think Aaliyah would want to perform with the band? He's like, I don't know. Call her. I'm like, I ain't got her number.
Probably exactly how he said it too.
He dialed the number. Hey, Aaliyah, somebody want to talk to you. Boom. And he gave me the phone.
Right.
And I said, hey, what's up, Aaliyah? So this is AJ. She says, hi. I said, listen, we got this show.
She's so cute.
And
Thank you.
I said, they told us to bring some friends out. And what would you think about coming up and performing the Lauryn Hill song with the Flippers? Now, originally I said it was, I think I told
Missed
her
Ones?
X Factor.
Oh, yes. That's what it was.
But we
It was
actually
X
did.
We did doo-wop.
Doo-wop, yes. And so she, like you said about immediately with the response,
Right.
she was like, of course. There was no hesitation.
Right.
Then I said those fatal words. Don't tell your mom.
It was
Well.
good. It was good to see her. It was, and she was having so much fun, and she looked
She came
so
on
good up there.
stage.
Yeah.
And so Tasha said to me, now this was my surprise because we did our first set. Now we're going to bring up the guests. James came up early, but he really was trying to feel his space. But Tasha said, head flipper. She said, can Aaliyah come up and do Precious? I turned to Tasha. That's the hardest song that we do.
I know.
I said, she can do Precious? Like, I wish you could have saw my face because I can see my face right now. I said, she could do Precious? She said, I said, bring her on. I said, because
Right.
we only had a slate. If she can do Precious, then bring her up.
Right.
Old girl came up. Did she straight kill it?
Yes, she did.
So we can speak this language now because when we were a four-piece, we've done a couple gigs where they didn't want vocals, so we went out as a trio,
Right.
me, Jay, and Junior.
Right.
The greatest moment in my life is being on stage with my son. There is no greater feeling than that.
I can relate.
You know what my number 2 feeling was?
What's that?
We did a thing for Jay's mother at the church, the big church, Bethany.
Oh gosh, I remember that.
And
yes,
Jay was on the right, I'm in the middle, and he had
Zachy with him. He had
Zachy.
Zach. He had Zachy with him. Yeah.
His oldest son.
Yeah.
He had him in between us, and he was close to Jay.
But
We did a couple songs.
Right.
Zach got up, took his chair, and
moved
it
it
over
over.
and put it right next to me.
Little traitor.
I took the look at
That
Jay.
little traitor.
I said, everybody wants to be the drummer. So that was the next level moment for me.
Right.
And I could not see your face because remember, I'm the drummer.
I
I'm
could
in
see
the
her
back.
face though.
Yeah.
But every time y'all would turn sideways, now I could see your faces. So as a mother, being able to perform on stage in that room with your daughter, what did that mean to you? With your mother looking on.
With my mom
her,
watching,
Yes,
right?
daughter
Mom
and her
watching.
grandchild.
Right.
Yes.
So I did find out ahead of time, just by coincidence, that Aaliyah was going to
Yes.
do the surprise, and
She snuck me.
I did, straight up. I mean, it was really his fault, but anyway. So we were home the one night, and I was like, "Well, let's go over X Factor," and she was like, "Well, do you think he would mind if instead of X Factor I did doo-wop?" And I was like, "Oh yes, that'd be great." I said, "I'm sure he would love that."
That's what I actually meant. I just called the wrong song.
Right, that's when you were talking to her,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, but then she turns to me and she was like, "What about Precious?" And I was like, "Ooh, yeah, we could do that." And when I came to you and told you that she wanted to do that, your shock at her knowing it. Let me tell you something.
Yes.
When we
Did
first
you see
started
my
doing,
face?
I did see your face. When we first started doing Precious back in 2011,
You're
whenever
talking
it
about
was,
just the band.
just the four of us,
Yeah.
when we were a quartet and we were
Yeah.
doing it. I would listen to anytime we did new music that I didn't know, because I didn't know who
Esperanza.
Esperanza Spalding was
Yes.
at the time. I just knew that Jay loved her.
We saw her.
Yeah.
Right.
We
Right.
saw her live.
And she opened for Prince. We saw her.
Yeah.
So anytime I got new music I didn't know, I would
Yeah.
listen to the songs on repeat in the house, in the car. And because Aaliyah and I were always
Always
together,
together.
She absorbed
Yeah.
it.
she would absorb it.
Oh,
So
I
was
love it.
I was
I
walking
love
around
it.
the house one day and I came across her, and at the top of her lungs she was singing every word of that song word for word.
Because she loved it.
Because she loved it. She
Yes.
could not have been any more than 9
Yeah.
years old. Mm-hmm. So when she said she wanted to do Precious, I was like, absolutely. But then to see you be like, what? But then she came up and she did it, and my heart
She
just
killed it.
grew 3 times
Yeah.
larger. Like,
Yeah.
I've performed with my daughter before. We
Yes.
did summer programs
Yeah,
together
yeah.
for theater.
Forget the summer program.
But this,
the 24 hours.
oh yes,
that y'all did.
I forgot about that.
That was my first time
I
seeing
forgot
the two
about
of y'all
that.
perform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was just the two of y'all.
Yes, that was
So,
literally just the
it's
two of
just
us
the two
in
of
my
y'all. So
bedroom.
that gave me a whole different feel. You know, I know you, I know Aaliyah, but now I felt like I really got to know y'all because now I can see the connection that y'all have.
Our dynamic.
The way me and
yeah.
AJ have that
yes,
connection.
exactly.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
how you and AJ probably
Yeah.
have a shorthand, and you and Kiana
Yes.
probably
Yes.
have a shorthand.
Yes.
If you notice, at the end of that, when I'm playing the drums and AJ's playing the keys, we did it, and AJ said, "See, y'all didn't even know that. I just threw him the alley-oop. I didn't even have to look at him.
Yes,
I knew it.
yes.
That's that connection.
That's
you
the
have.
connection
Yes.
where
Yeah.
it's nonverbal.
Yes.
And I
Absolutely.
have that with Aaliyah. So
and I
if-
have that with Kiana. Yes.
right, and you have that with AJ.
Yeah.
So or with Junior. So when did you see the video of the? I think did I send you the videos that I had?
'cause
I have
remember
to
you
send them
sent
to
me about. I
you.
told you I didn't. You said, "Do I have WhatsApp?" Apparently, I do
yes.
have WhatsApp because I keep these nasty damn videos from somebody.
Yes. Okay. Well, delete them.
I don't accept
But-
them. I get them. I don't know you.
I'll send it to you. Because you have an Android and I have an iPhone, it just accepts multimedia things much easier. But anyway, if you watch the video of us doing Lost Ones, you'll see she gets through the first verse, confidence. I know this. We get to the second verse and she's like, "Mommy."
Who's that sound like?
I don't know.
That sound like?
Who?
Went out with a bang. I got the shaka.
Oh, that's right. That was Heather.
First verse.
Yes.
Come on, Tasha.
When she asked to do Ain't Nobody,
And then she didn't know it.
and she's like, "This is my last show. Do you mind if I lead a song?" And I was like, "Go for it." So this is total sidebar, y'all. She was like, "This is my last show. Do you mind if I lead a song?"
And I got to give a disclaimer. All I know is that I'm sure when her bill came,
She did treat
that
us
bill
right.
was like $250 $200. She did like 3 rounds of shot.
For everybody.
Like 20 shots.
For everybody.
And then the regular drinks, because she
Yeah.
brought me my second like rum and coke. You know what I'm saying?
I told you she's very
So
generous.
she went out with a bang.
Extremely generous.
So I'm going to charge that to a little bit of drinking.
Okay, charge that to the game. So
Hilarious though.
it was great. So she's like, "Do you mind if I do Ain't Nobody?" I was like, "Girl, do you? Go for it.
Yes.
Say less." So they start playing the song, and she comes in and
Strong,
she's confident,
confident.
strong. I'm like,
Boom.
"You better sing that song, Heather." And then she got to the second verse, and she was like, "And now I'm gonna let you have it." Because I don't know it.
I think I was at Bunny's. I was
you
at
was.
Bunny's. Yeah, I was there.
You was. You was sitting out there.
Yeah, I was.
You wasn't in the main
yeah, I
room.
was
You
in
was
the-
sitting
yeah,
further out.
but
I think you and Max was there.
Yeah, me and
So
Max was
have you
there.
ever seen Regine when she does the like the what?
Yes.
Fate, like it's a meme.
Yes.
She does this meme where she's like, huh? So when she's like, "Can you do the second verse?" And I was like, "Oh, okay, sure." Regine was like, "Why you asked to leave this long and you know the song?"
But that's what makes it being on stage
But
special.
it was amazing because
Yeah.
you know live music. This is what happens.
This
with
is
live
what
performances,
happens.
right?
This is what I'm saying.
So to
you
bring
can't
it back
pretend-
to the girl,
Exactly.
when she got to the second verse of Doo Wop, she's like, "Mommy," and then you'll see me come in like, "I got you, girl."
Exactly.
So that was kind of, but it was
Exactly.
an amazing experience, and I hope it's not our last.
I hope it's not your
You know,
last.
I
either.
love that she has such a love.
Yes, I was going to say that.
Yeah.
I
It's in her.
love that I saw
is.
It's in her.
so much love in her.
Yeah.
She was so happy, and it was just such a joy to see.
Yeah, you
You
can
know what
see
I
it
saw?
in her performance. She comes
Yes.
alive.
Yes,
What I saw, what did you say you saw?
joy.
And what did you see?
I saw just contentment on her face.
You know what I saw?
What'd you see?
No fear.
Yeah.
Well,
No
there was
fear.
definitely no fear.
She looked out in that crowd.
She
and she
was-
owned that
She
moment.
was
She
comfortable.
was in it.
Yes. Yeah.
She was comfortable
Yes.
in that
Absolutely.
moment.
So if,
Yeah.
you, if that,
And
what
that's
you're
why she
saying,
was-
love,
that's why she was
joy,
able
no
to
fear,
have, yeah.
you can
Yeah.
go out on that stage.
Yeah.
And we spent a good chunk on Flip the Script, but I want to get back to your theater game because me and Mama had the pleasure of seeing your last performance,
No.
and I have to tell you,
What was the name of the play again, AJ?
I'm going to stick with Dangerous Liaisons.
Yeah,
I'm-
we're
I'm
not
just
going to
gonna
be able
say
to
this.
say
We're not
that
gonna
to-
butcher it.
When I saw you in Sister Act, that was the play when I saw you, and I said to myself, my singer is an actress. You know?
Yeah.
I thought she was a singer. No, she's an actress.
Yeah.
And then you doubled down, and you just blew us out the door with the American Son.
Yeah.
American
Oh, yeah,
Son.
yeah.
That
When you
was
performed
a
that play,
great performance.
Thank you.
My
Thank you.
jaw dropped.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, because it was limited.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of things going on, so you really have to carry the role. But this last one, because first off, Dangerous Liaisons is my shit.
It's your
Okay?
favorite movie.
This one of the movies I
Yes,
could
you
watch on
said.
repeat.
Yeah.
I could come upstairs right now. I could be on for 45 minutes. I'm going to sit and watch the whole thing to the end.
Yeah.
I love this movie.
Right.
And the fact that you played the Glenn Close role, okay, what she delivered in Fatal Attraction is brilliant.
Right.
And what she did in this just ups the ante. And the fact that you had to deliver this heavily dialogue, not a lot of set movement, no music in the background to really, carry this thing. It is a dialogue-based play.
Right.
So I want to give you your flowers while you're here.
Thank you.
Because those 3 performances have truly shown me your breadth as an actress.
Thank you.
And I go all the way back 15 years ago where I saw that little glimmer and I saw more of the musical side. So in my mind, I had cataloged you as a singer.
Right.
And then seeing these last 3 performances like that, I have clearly moved you from the singer to the actress role. And again, it's not that you're not a singer, you're that triple threat again. And unless you're, supremely talented with your amazing in every bucket, acting is your thing. That's the thing that is, if people ask me about you, that is the thing that I'm going to speak to you. And I'm saying, oh, and by the way, she sang. too.
Yeah.
You know
But
what I mean?
that's how, like you have some singers who can act.
Yeah.
But I feel if I were to categorize myself, I would be an actor who
Yeah,
sings.
yeah.
I'm not a singer who acts. I'm an actor who sings because acting is really my
Acting
first.
is her thing.
Okay.
So when I see Tasha, I see an actress.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's how I came to
That's
you.
how you
Yeah.
came
Yeah,
to me.
that's how
And
that's
that's
how I was
crazy,
introduced
right?
to you.
Because you
Yeah.
see it as the actress.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing her as the actress, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, she sang.
Right.
Yeah.
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 And so-
he has always seen you as the singer.
Yes.
Right. But I have always seen you as the actress.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember when you guys came to see Leader of the Pack.
Oh God, I forgot about it. That's the one where Regine had that funny outfit on.
I was getting-
Regine. No, that was
The
Sister
colorful?
Act. That was Sister
that was
Act.
still in
Yeah,
Sister
because
Act?
she wasn't
Oh,
in
okay,
Leader of the Pack.
okay.
Yeah, but I was.
I
gonna
always
say
confuse. I think she's in it, but she's not.
Okay.
Because I was gonna say we've saw more.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've saw more
Oh yeah, of her
performances
acting.
of her acting. Yeah.
Listen,
Because we've tried to support.
Say it again.
But you
baby.
guys are
Will you say it
amazing.
again?
When it, yeah.
We've tried to support.
Yeah.
All right, see, we ain't gonna deliver
Al-
lip service.
I'm
We
gonna
are
tell
gonna
you.
come and see you.
Al and I are supporters.
Absolutely.
We don't just talk about it.
Right.
We know what we do.
Yes, we know how hard it is,
Right, and
what it's like
yeah.
to look in the audience and see a familiar
Yeah.
face,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and be like, my tribe is here.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
And so we're great supporters.
Yeah, man.
And because we understand the arts, we love the arts.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what it is.
In
Yeah.
what capacity?
In what
Yeah.
capacity,
Yeah.
we just love the arts. But I want to go back to Flip the Script for a minute because
Oh, go ahead.
only because I want to mention y'all that I am finally the sound engineer.
Oh, we gotta snap it up on that. Give that up for Dr. KBJ.
Absolutely, because okay, so a little disclaimer. See, my husband knows that I've always wanted to be part of his band.
Well, you were for a minute. You were a momager for a minute.
Okay, but
You were the momager.
he's been trying to exclude me.
Oh, no.
you know. But
Not exclude you, baby. What I always tell you.
okay.
Everybody got to play their position.
Everybody got to play their position.
so
we were
managing
trying to
and
find the
sound
right
is your
position
position.
for me. So I do still manage because I talk y'all up all the
Yeah,
time.
man.
So
Yeah.
I just haven't been able because I'm busy,
Right.
doing my own
Because you're
thing.
living your best life.
I'm living my best life.
that part.
But I am proud to say that my husband allowed me
Invited you?
invited me
Voluntold.
voluntold. So I am now in a position in the band now that I actually love.
Yeah,
so
man.
I am the sound
And let me
engineer.
just say this, fellas, don't feel a type of way. But predominantly all the roles in lives are delivered by men. Okay? Men are the CEOs, men are the engineers, men are the astronauts. And what you find is that women are extremely capable. And women are so much better at detail than men truly are. And when it comes to sound, some of the greatest sound people on the planet are women. And Prince is a true example of that. Sujan Rogers was his go-to engineer. She was with him for years. There was a woman, Peggy. She did a lot of sound work for him.
And Peggy.
And there's one more I'm missing that did sound. And what I loved about Prince was he knew that this was not your wheelhouse. But what he saw in you was you had enough of the gift and he could give you what you didn't have. And that's why I feel about you, because you've been around music, you've been exposed to music, you've been able to perform music, you've been able to absorb it. And, all the videos that we do, before I even get a chance to sit down and do the video, I get the Karoline critique.
Of course.
So before we even get to the video, so when I'm looking at the video, I see what she's saying there. Because as I'm drumming, I'm trying to deal with my parts and what's going on. I may miss those couple things. So she is already innately in tune to what we're doing. And now having her on sound, and it was so funny when we did the New Year's gig. Because there's one point on the video where I say, you need to turn it up. Tasha, I can't hear you. You need to turn up. So she went over and turned up a little bit. And then Anik asked for a little bit. And so Karoline turns up. And then Anik's voice got real bright. And Anik goes, oh, no.
No. That's too hot. Listen, that's a Cool in the Gang song.
When
Too
Junior
hot.
is doing sound, and for all the years we've been together, Junior's doing the sound.
Right.
But Junior is the music director. He's trying to play keyboards. He's trying to call out changes. He's trying to sing the parts he got to sing. And he's trying to work the sound. You can't be great at everything.
Right.
So now taking that off his plate and allow him just to focus on singing, directing, and playing.
Yeah.
Now it just makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
So welcome to the family, babe.
Thank you.
All right.
Yay.
It only took you 15 years to get in.
You get in where you fit in.
You that's it, Tasha. You get in when you
You
fit
get
in.
in
And the thing
where you
about it is
fit
that
in.
I always had a vision of being part of the band.
Yes.
Right.
That has always been the vision.
Well, it's a family affair.
It is a family affair. It's
Yeah,
always
man.
been a family affair. And I'm talking from the very beginning because when AJ was just an infant and we were cultivating him, into learning the drums and learning music. And I was always, first of all, I'm a songwriter, so I've always been writing songs. So there was always that aspect of me being part of the band.
Right.
I just had to find my place.
Yeah, man.
See, I used to fancy myself
Yeah. You fancy yourself as what?
a songwriter.
Listen.
Well, you know
When
what?
you tell her,
Upon a time.
don't be bashful.
Don't be bashful.
You just dropped your first debut CD.
Oh, he's telling me not to be
Yes.
bashful.
So it took you
He's
all
talking
these
to
years
you.
Oh, he's talking to me.
for you to get
to
it
you.
out. So
Thought he was talking to our
there is
guests.
nothing
Yeah.
but hope on your plate because
Well,
all you got to do. What did we say with the band? I told you we're a cover band.
right.
Finally, we did an original song where I came out and did "Give Me Your Love" to show what a original song would look like. But we didn't perform it with the band. I performed it to a backing track.
But that wasn't the first original song that Flip the Script did. If
Well,
you
the first
recall,
original
we had the
song.
Flip the Script blues.
Yes.
Yes. See,
Yeah.
songwriter.
yes.
And you also performed Heavenly
Love as
which
a
is-
club mix.
which is also
Did we perform that?
we
You-
did
you
as a club
performed-
mix.
You performed it at Cecil's because I remember it.
really?
Yes, you did.
I don't remember that. Okay.
Yes, you performed
Okay.
it. And Heavenly
It wasn't on a
Love,
set list. It was really one of those things where we were
Okay,
kind of
we just
goofing
kinda
around.
Yeah,
did
but
jazz, but
Heavenly
no.
Love is an original
So,
song.
so
Yes.
what I would
Original
say to
piece,
you
yeah.
Yep.
is this is the opportunity to expand the palette. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm 4 CDs deep in my game. So, and I got a song for y'all already. I need the 3 of y'all to come in.
Yeah, we're gonna work on that.
And
We're gonna
drop
get that
this song,
done.
you know what I mean?
Once
Life
schedules
slows down.
open up,
Yeah.
well, life will never slow down.
Oh, that's
but,
good.
yeah.
I like the way you say that.
But once schedules align,
Yes.
Yeah.
we will definitely make that happen.
Yeah.
Because Regina and I have worked on projects with you before outside of
Yes.
the script.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just that
And I
I
love what y'all did for me.
listening to Anik's podcast episode. She
Yeah.
is the true Jamaican. She's got
Yes.
3
She got
jobs.
50 million
Yeah,
jobs.
so, yeah.
She got 50 11 jobs.
Yeah, man.
So once
Absolutely.
once schedules align,
Yeah.
we'll make that happen for sure.
Yeah.
But I remember once upon a time we kind of farted around with doing original
We did.
music.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Junior gave us some
Yep, some tracks
beats,
to
some
work
tracks
off of,
to
yep.
work off of, and I sat down and I worked on one of them. But I actually do have like recorded things I had done prior to Flip, just prior to even getting back into theater,
man.
prior to
Yeah.
my marriage and
listen,
Right,
kids.
and
And
that's
you're
what I'm
supposed
saying.
to.
All of the stuff,
Yeah.
even the CD that I just dropped was prior,
Yes.
to all of this.
To Life
But I
Really
have a
Like.
Let
lot
me
of
just
stuff
say
that
this.
I got a lot of new stuff.
We're
that
coming
I'm
up
working
on the
you
hour
know.
mark. That's more, but on the screen
Okay.
here we're at the hour mark.
you.
So
Thank
we
you.
don't like to keep this for like 50 million years.
Right.
But I have a challenge for. Yes, I do. Because what did you just say about our show from the 28th? You said.
Oh, you said it.
That it was one of the best shows that I've seen
And I said to you, because it was like theater.
because it was like theater.
So my challenge to the 2 of you, because y'all are the place,
The two of us. He wants us to work together.
we
on it.
need to
And I already
write,
know where this is going.
flip the script, the
The
band,
band.
the play.
musical.
The musical.
The play. Whatever.
Yes. Because there were some tidbits in there and some things. 'Cause I'm getting ready to drop my debut novel. I finally
What?
finished my novel.
You've been writing a novel?
I've been writing a novel since long as we've been in Flip the Script, baby. And I finally completed it. So now I'm just going to go through my editing process.
Is
My
it-
goal is to get it out between the end of summer, early fall.
Is it fiction or nonfiction?
No, it's fiction.
Okay,
It's
thank you.
fiction.
Yes. So
Okay,
did,
great.
did you see Purple Rain?
Purple Rain. Purple Rain?
Yes. All I'm going to tell you is
I have not.
people ask Prince, was it true? Is it autobiographical? I'm going to tell you that you might feel a little flavor like that too. And if you see a character that kind of reminds yourself, I don't know nothing about that.
Her name better not be Lady Lachey.
So
No.
this is my challenge to you.
He's been writing this book for a very long
Yeah.
time. So
Okay.
it was before Flip the Script.
Oh,
so
But
yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
Great.
And what we delivered at SOPAC, I'm seeing these musicals and everything going on. We can tell our story in play form
Okay.
and deliver that
Yeah.
on a stage, not like we did at SOPAC, because that wasn't really set up for like
Yeah.
a
It
true
wasn't
performance
set. It
theater.
wasn't set up for that.
But if we do
Yeah.
it in a theater,
Right.
we can deliver, flip the script
Yeah.
to play.
And you felt the need to get this on record. Is that what
Yes.
this is? I understand.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because what we
That's
found.
how you got to put it in the universe.
What we found is that when you put it in the universe, it usually happens. And it would be my pleasure to work with you
Okay.
on
Because y'all
building
the theater ones.
building this up. because, like you said, we are the theater part of
Right,
it. You
right.
know, I have written many plays, and we can continue to do this.
Yes.
I can work with you on this.
Yeah, man.
And now that it's in the universe, we don't have no choice now.
Because
Absolutely.
he's manifesting it.
I
yes.
am damn sure manifesting this.
Okay.
And I think it would be brilliant, actually.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
So you got to, here's the thing, though. You have to let us write it.
Did you hear what I just said?
Yeah, we heard what you
We
said.
heard what you, thank you.
Yeah.
I heard what you said.
Yeah, thank
Listen
you.
to me.
We heard what you said.
You gotta see you're talking the talk.
But listen to me.
But now you gotta walk the walk. So thank
Yeah.
you.
And you're welcome.
Thank you.
So you've been listening to Living Your Best Life with Karoline and AJ and our special guest, Tasha. What is it? Arroyo?
Tasha. Well, so for stage purposes, it's Tasha R. Williams, but
Tasha R. Williams
yes,
for stage.
for stage purposes.
Okay,
but,
Tasha R. Williams.
but you know, the government calls me Tasha R. Arroyo.
Yes, they do. Okay.
Yes, so we want you to join us next time when we come back with another guest as we are living our best life. Are we living our best life, AJ?
What? Do you know what today is for me?
What is today?
It's Friday.
And that's what yesterday was too. Look at that.
And you know what tomorrow's going to be?
Friday.
Okay.
Y'all got to catch up to your boy. Every day is my best life.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm not where AJ is right now, but
Not
that's
yet.
Okay, but that's okay because
Hashtag goals.
I'm still living my best life.
Yes, you
Right.
are.
Because one of the things that I just mentioned this yesterday, is that I'm grateful that Al is living his best life. He's retired now, everybody, in case you don't know. But I feel like he's dragging me along for the ride, and I'm loving it.
Dragging you or
Can't take
carrying
this journey
you?
by myself.
Carrying you along for the ride?
I like that.
Yeah.
He's carrying
carrying
me
you along
for the ride. Right.
Absolutely.
I'm actually jumping on
Yes,
board
yes.
for the ride.
You're getting a running start.
I'm getting a running start, and I love it.
Yeah.
So we want you to come back for another episode of Living Your Best Life with Karoline and AJ, as we have another guest who's living their best life. And before we leave, if you want to be on our show, please send us a email at
Don't ask me.
And then there was wine.
Okay, listen.
It'll be on the screen.
Listen.
It's all in the tag box below.
You guys know I always get this wrong. Always.
Oh, is this Sisters in Christ? Is this?
Nope.
No.
Okay, then I don't know what this
RTNP.
is.
Yeah, listen, this is why, this is how men think. If we were doing this, it would be livingyourbestlife.com. That's how we roll.
But it's not, because this is the Real Talk, Real People
RTNP.
podcast.
Yes.
So it's RTRP, Candid Conversations
That's a lot.
at gmail.com.
It'll be in the description, folks.
It'll all
Trust
be
me.
in the description box.
It will all be in the description box.
And then there was wine.
And listen, for all our folks out there in TV land that will get to see us, put those glasses up, folks. Let's get that glass together. All right?
Listen,
We
wine
will
is
see y'all.
part of living your best life. I just want to say
Live
that.
your best life.
I'm living my best
Bye.
life.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Living my best life. Cheers.
Y'all got issues.
What? I got issues.
Press the button.